Welcome.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, everybody.
Ciao.
Ciao, everybody. Welcome,
Good
Mary.
morning.
Welcome, Aline, Cheryl, Jenny,
Ciao.
Brenda. All right, Rainey, Linda, Bud, Darlene. All right, we've got a lot of fun people here with us. And we've got somebody from Illinois, Washington, D.C., my sister from another Mr. Jenny is from Salem, Oregon, Minnesota, Nevada, another Oregonian, Savannah, Cincinnati. We got people, France, Toronto, people from all over. This is wonderful. So great to have you all with us today. Let's officially get started. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to our tiramisu class. Welcome to our shared virtual kitchen where we can all come together, have fun, learn something new, and make delicious Italian recipes. I'm Denise, your co-host. I'm based just outside Portland, Oregon. Chicca's joining us from Castagneto Carducci in Tuscany. Arnaud's behind the camera, and Paolo, our chat wizard, is with us from the UK. Chicca's in her kitchen. Hi, Chicca. How are you doing this evening?
Ciao a tutti, siete tantissimi, you are so many. I'm so happy to be here with you and make this Italian classic tiramisu with my 40 years old recipe. I'm here on the Tuscan coast and it's almost dinner time. It's dark outside. We are located on La Strada del Vino, the wine road that leads to Bolgheri, famous for super Tuscan wines. Maybe you have heard of them. We are celebrating over 4 years of cooking online with the club, and I want to welcome all our members that are joining us tonight and all of you that are the first time cooking with us. And I want to introduce you Arnaud, my French husband here. He's the man behind the camera. He's here. And Paolo, our Italian friend based in the UK, which will help with the chat. Paolo, ciao.
Hi, yes, nice to meet you, everyone. Welcome to the class. Yes, I'd like to introduce myself, Paolo here from England. I'm born and raised in Italy, then lived nearly 20 years in Vancouver, Canada. I saw somebody from Vancouver, hello there, and then moved to England, where I've been for now 6 years. So I'll be monitoring the chat and help you out throughout the class. See you soon.
Thanks, Paolo. I just want to remind you, as Paolo said, he'll be monitoring the chat and keep everything technical going. And today we'll be making Chicca's famous tiramisu. As she said, it's her 40-year-old recipe. And the class will be about 75 minutes, give or take. And after a brief introduction, we'll get cooking together. And at the end of class, we're going to tell you a little bit more about what we'll be cooking in the new season of Chicca's Cooking Club. And we'll have a special bonus for you. And we're going to pull up a few pictures so that Chicca can tell you a little bit about herself and her cooking philosophy. So I'm going to do that now. There we go.
Okay, so one thing that I want to teach you first is how to pronounce my name. My name is Chicca, not Chicca. I'm an architect by trade and a proud mom. I'm also a passionate cyclist, and after my degree in architecture, I traveled for about 10 years around the world by bicycle. Alaska, Ecuador, Zimbabwe, Iceland, Australia, New Zealand, Madagascar, just to name some. I am a home cook by passion, and in the past 20 years, I have been teaching people from all over the world how to cook authentic Italian recipes. I believe in home food and in the power of fresh and good ingredients. My recipes are mostly vegetarian and based on the Mediterranean diet as I grew up and live on the west coast of Italy. My mantra in the kitchen is the best use of the simplest ingredients. I buy seasonal, organic, and local products. And two staples in my kitchen are my extra virgin olive oil pressed from the olives that grow on my property and fresh cut herbs from the garden.
I met Chicca a few years ago on a cousin's trip to Tuscany, and we stayed for 6 days and did 4 delicious cooking classes. And by the end of the trip, Chicca and I were fast friends, and we joked that we were just like sisters. And when the pandemic started, Chicca moved her in-person cooking classes online and created Chicca's Cooking Club, which we'll share more about at the end of class. And these few years later, I'm her partner in running the club and her co-host. And we like to say the sisters are back together again. And here are some tips that we learned from cooking with the club over the past over 4 years. We learned that when you get busy cooking, you can't always look at your screen. So Keek's going to walk us through everything step by step. I'll do my best to call your attention to important instructions along the way. Know that if we move on to the next step and you're not quite there yet, don't worry. Just pause. Just pause and listen to the instructions, watch Chicca's demonstration, and then return to where you were. We strongly encourage you to refer back to that written recipe instructions, and then we'll put that link back in the chat one more time. And then, of course, the most important thing is that we have fun, and it's kind of almost impossible to not have fun when Chicca's teaching us how to cook Italian recipes. So Chicca, what do we want to know about substitutions that can be made today?
Yeah, so tiramisu has very few ingredients, but I know there is a kind of sometimes issues using raw eggs. And if you don't trust your raw eggs, you can use whipped cream instead. And also you can use angel food cake if you don't find lady fingers, and cut the cake in fingers. And you can also make it gluten-free using gluten-free lady fingers. One thing that I want to point out before starting the class is the serving size of your dish. I'm using the dish that we recommend in the recipe, and this is perfect to have a thick layer of cream that balances well with the soaked lady fingers. If you will use like a larger baking dish, the thickness of your cream will be less. And you can also make tiramisu in individual portions, like in a glass, and there is a very elegant way to serve your tiramisu. I made this many times.
And then lastly, making storage and how long to chill and those kinds of things.
Yeah, so tiramisu is better if is refrigerated for about 4-5 hours. I would say 6. So you can't eat your tiramisu after class. You have to wait. And it's better even the next days. And you can keep it in the fridge a couple of days, especially if you're using raw eggs, you don't want to keep it for a long time. I also try to freeze it, and the result is great. You lose a little bit of the fluff, but it's still okay.
Okay. All right. Well, and now it's time for my favorite part. Will you show us what you have prepped?
Yeah. So I have here on my table all the ingredients and all the tools to make my tiramisu. Here I have the lady fingers. I don't know why they are called lady fingers. Because this is a lady fingers, whereas this one is a giant fingers. So I don't know why they call them like that. Then I have my eggs, raw fresh eggs, sugar, a pinch of salt, a little bit of cocoa powder, my mascarpone cream. I want to show you how the mascarpone cream comes in Italy, comes in a box, and I will put it later in a bowl. Then I have my coffee. I made coffee with this big machine. I made two machines with this coffee. This is called mocha. And this is a typical coffee machine that every Italian has in their home kitchen. And so I like it a lot because there are no coffee pods, no plastic, no aluminum. There's nothing. It's sustainable. You just add water and coffee powder. And I want to show you also this little machine here. It's called La Napoletana. It's a different method of making coffee. And it was invented by a French guy, but it's called a Napoletana. I don't know why. It's like the Naples lady. And maybe there was always a connection between France and Naples. Okay. Anything else, Denise?
We have a few questions. Paolo, do you want to go ahead and run through some of those questions? And they're about ingredients.
Yeah. First off, there's a suspicion that American eggs are smaller than Italian eggs. They see your eggs, they seem pretty massive. So, would you then add an additional one to this recipe?
Yeah, you can add an additional one. If they are pretty large, you can use maybe 4 eggs. If they're small, you can add another egg. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
Excellent. And then some people will be using whipped cream, which you already mentioned is a substitution, but the person wanted to make sure you give instruction for that variation using
Yeah.
whipped cream. And finally, if you don't eat eggs and you don't want to use cream either, can you use cornstarch to create some thickening through it?
But I think you can just use mascarpone and maybe yogurt. Yogurt could be another substitution instead of whipped cream or eggs. I don't know, cornstarch, you don't really need to thicken the mascarpone.
Right.
The eggs, they just give a silky texture. Eggs are a natural emulsifier, so everything comes smooth and silk. But if you beat up the mascarpone with a little bit of sugar, I think you're okay. You don't need to add anything else.
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit of milk. Maybe a little bit of milk to make it a little
Yeah.
smoother, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
The question was cornstarch and water is used in cookie recipes to replace eggs.
Oh, I see.
And so
Yeah.
I think in this one, the eggs are made to make it fluffy, to add lift to the mascarpone cream. And so
Yeah. Richness. They add richness. They emulsify everything together. The mascarpone has fat and liquid content, so that's why it becomes so silky and smooth. But you don't really need to use cornstarch. I can see cornstarch to baking or to making cookies. But in this case, just add a little bit of milk to your mascarpone, beat it, and that's okay. Hey, Denise, I hear like a sound of an email. Maybe is it yours? I don't know. I can hear bling bloom. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't hear that
Okay.
either.
Okay.
We'll
Okay,
make
that's
sure
okay.
that everybody else is muted.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think we're ready to go ahead and get started with class.
Okay. So tiramisu. Tiramisu, before starting, I want to tell you that it's one of the 5 most popular Italian words in the world, together with pizza, spaghetti, and pasta. These are 4, and then the 5th was, I don't remember, maybe mafia or amore. So you can write in the chat which Italian word you know and which is important for you. I know that for Arnaud is gelato. Maybe there are some cappuccino, some I don't know, other things. And so the very first step that we have to do is to separate the yolks from the whites. So this step is very important because you don't want to have not even a little bit of yolk in the egg whites, otherwise they will not whip up properly. So you can do 2 things. Either you separate them in a big, small bowl before transferring them in the main mixing bowls. So if you have like a problem, you can fix it in the small bowls, or just use a strainer. I'll do this so you can see that. So I put the strainer over the bowl where I will add the egg whites. And I have close on the other side the bowl where I will add the egg yolks. So I crack the egg and then I just open them in the strainer. The whites will go down. I'll catch the yolk with the shell and put it in the bowl. 1. And then I just put the remaining whites in the mixing bowl. Then, or you can also try like this. You can train to separate the yolks and the whites in this way. And then I put it here. Voila. Remember always to to add all the whites to the mixing bowl. And then the fourth, which method are you using?
Let's take a peek at that. And then Kika, while you're doing that, can you talk about freezing the tiramisu?
Yeah. So once we have made the tiramisu, you can cover it and put it in the freezer. And then, see, look. And then before serving, put it in the fridge, not outside, in the fridge, about a couple of hours before to defrost it. And it's very, very good. You can try this. But you can refreeze it again and eat it within a day because the eggs are raw. You know, you don't want to have any problem. Voila. So
it looks
but
like
I think
we're doing similar techniques to how you're doing your egg separations.
With the strainer.
I'm not seeing a lot of strainers, but more just the egg, using the two shells. Yeah, the two shells. That's the best. That's the traditional way. But having a strainer sometimes, make you feel more confident. If you're not confident about separating them, use a strainer. And okay, now, Carla's a real pro. She uses her hands. Oh yeah, that's the hands. That's very, very, very fancy now. I've seen this many times. I like it. Yes. Okay. I think if you are cooking along with us, please go ahead and get started following Kika right along as she goes. Yeah. And also, if you haven't, take your mascarpone out of the fridge. My mascarpone has been out of the fridge for an hour, okay? So make sure you take the mascarpone out of the fridge. And I'll tell you why later. So now we add to the whites 2 tablespoons of sugar, and we keep the remaining sugar for the yolks later. So I'm using a stand mixer to whip the egg whites. So I place, but you can use a hand whisker or an electric beater, whatever method is fine. So I start with a low speed, like medium low to low, just to, to mix a little bit the whites and the sugar and have a little air start incorporating a little air inside. And then when I see that there is a little foam, I increase the speed. So we need to whip the whites until stiff peaks forms. Okay, I think I can increase the speed. I'm increasing the speed. My KitchenAid is going crazy, very strong. And why do we do that? Because the white will add the light texture to the cream. Beating them to stiff peaks will fill them with air, and this air will be transferred to your cream. Okay. So we have to do a little bit longer. So how do you know when it's ready? There is the whisk method. When you take the whisk out from the bowl, you'll see the stiff peak will be like this. They will not bend. Whereas soft peak is when the whites will bend a little bit from the whisk. I don't know if you understand that. And we are whisking. And I added the sugar because it gives a little bit of more body. And I also forget the pinch of salt. That's important because this will prevent the whites from deflating. A little bit of salt, okay? And I see they're becoming more and more foamy. If you're doing by hand, this will take a little longer. KitchenAid works very, very well. So Kika, if people are using the whipped cream instead of egg whites, would now be the time that they're whipping their cream as well? Yes. Yeah, that's a good time to whip the cream. Yeah. And how much sugar are they adding to their whipped cream? So if the cream is unsweetened, you can add the same amount of sugar. If the cream is already sweetened, you don't add any sugar.
So the content of sugar is also depends. It also depends on your personal taste. I prefer less sweet desserts, but if you have a very sweet tooth, like you like very sweet desserts, you can add sugar to the cream. Okay, my whites are very whipped, but I need to wait a little second because I want to make sure they're super whipped, because this will be the air we incorporate into the cream. That's why the cream in the mascarpone cream will be fluffy from this.
And quick question, is there any sugar been added to the egg whites?
Yes, we added two
tablespoons
of sugar.
Great.
That's in the recipe. We added 2 tablespoons of sugar and a pinch of salt. These are all the ingredients. Yeah. There we add. So just a little second, and then I'll show you. I want to really make sure that it's very well whipped. So the whites, they deflate always a little bit, so the longer the better. But there is a point that you can't add any more air. And if you keep going, they will deflate. So there is a point that we should say, stop. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So I think these are pretty stiff. You can see already from the whisk. Yeah. So now we have also another test. So this one is already, no, but I'll give another little whisk. I want to make sure really it's.
And your test is the upside down bowl test.
Yeah, I want to do the upside down bowl test. Yeah, I think that we are okay. Okay, so but I can add this now, but if you take your bowl, see, they don't fall down from the whisk. You can see that. And then you have to have the courage. Bring your bowl and capsize down. It doesn't fall down. Have the courage. Do that. If it falls, it's a mess.
Okay, so yeah, so this is definitely a time for you to look at Chicca so that you can see again the consistency of her egg whites they're stiff. Yeah. And do your super upside down bowl.
Yeah.
Oh well, it might fall now because
a quick note. If you whipped the eggs a bit ahead of time to get ahead, don't flip your bowl, because if you leave them there for a bit, they're gonna start to separate from the bowl. So, but they're still okay. Just don't do the stunt.
Okay. So now I put the bowl with the whipped egg whites together with sugar and salt in the fridge, because I want them to be cold and so they keep their shape. All right. Anything? Any questions? No. Okay. We can keep going. Everybody's okay. So the egg whites, the first step, egg whites, is okay. Second step, let's mix the yolks with the sugar. So I have the 5 egg yolks that we have separated before and the remaining sugar, and I'm adding them to the egg yolks. Okay. I'm using now the electric beater. I hate this beater because it always starts, without even touching him. And I'm just mixing them to medium speed.
Okay, Chicca, can you hold? Let's just hold for just a second.
Yeah.
Don't mind. Let's just do a quick peek in with our members on their egg whites, if we can.
Yeah.
We're going to pop over to gallery view. And wow, look at all of our people in the gallery view. This is fantastic. Yeah, let's see if is there anybody that is feeling brave and wants to do the upside down bowl trick. Brenda. All right, Brenda. I'm gonna bring you up to spotlight, Brenda.
I can see the gallery view.
Okay, there we go. Brenda.
Okay. Hey, Brenda. Wow, it's working. It's working.
And I'm gonna unmute you, Brenda. Brenda, I know Brenda. Brenda is a friend of a former member of ours. This is Wanda's sister. She's a friend of mine also. Hi, Brenda.
And a friend of mine too. Ciao, Brenda.
Thank you for being brave with us. All right. It's okay. Mute and then remove. Let's go back and do another test. And I also wanted to see if there's anybody that wants to have Chicca check your consistency. Anybody worried that their consistency isn't quite right? Anybody concerned wants to have Chicca check in with them? Looks like no one's looking frantic, worried. So we haven't gone into what we're doing after the egg yolks yet. So Ave, do you have your camera on? I can bring you up if you do. You don't have it on. Wait, I did not get it after the egg yolk what to do. So we haven't done the egg yolks yet. So Ave, so we will get to that in just a minute. Anybody else willing to come up on screen and show us what you're doing? Gregory, let's bring you up. Add to spotlight and woo!
Oh, wow.
Look at you. All right, fantastic. Thanks.
Is this your first time? Is this your first time? Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Ciao.
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 Right, thanks, guys.
Ciao,
Right.
grazie.
Let's see. We're going to move you. And then Carla, are my egg whites overhead? Not able to. Let's see, Carla. I'm going to bring you up. Let's see, Carla. Oh boy, they're huge.
Oh wow,
they look great.
Yeah, yeah. Did you flip the? I think they're okay, but you didn't flip the.
You're gonna have to unmute, Carla. You're gonna have to unmute yourself. There you go.
No, she's muted. She's muted.
Yeah, possibly over whipped a little bit. That's maybe why they're falling off, but they're perfect.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll be fine. Nice work.
Yeah.
Great. All right. And Jeffrey Davis says Prosecco helps. I'm with you. Prosecco helps.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Chicca, I think we can go ahead and get you going again.
Okay, so now we are going back to the egg yolks. Okay, we didn't do the egg yolk yet. And I have here in this bowl egg yolks and sugar, the 3 remaining tablespoons of sugar. I'm using an electric mixer. You can use a whisk or like a stand mixer, a spoon to mix sugar and egg yolks. We'll mix until they become fluffy and pale yellow. They become like zabaione. Do you know zabaione? I don't know if you know zabaione.
I didn't know zabaione. Do you want to tell us?
Paolo, yeah, Paolo has a good Paolo. Do you want to explain what zabaione for Italian is?
Oh my goodness.
We all grew up with zabaione.
It's just like our afternoon snack if you're a kid in Italy. At least it was for me. And my cousin, she would also get a shot of espresso in her zabaione. So imagine the kid there would be very wired up. Yes, so it's just beaten egg yolk and sugar. Delicious.
And we do have a raised hand by Ave. We don't have your video on. So if you want to go ahead, I can unmute you if you want to ask your question.
I have a question.
Yes.
For the egg yolk, the white ones. I also did the salt. But when I mixed them, it's like a little bit puffy, but at the same time a little bit watery.
I didn't
So the
understand.
egg white parts, just the white part?
Yes. Do you want me to show you?
Yes, if you can put your video on, that would be great.
Okay.
And I will add you to Spotlight. I can't see your video.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
There we go.
Okay, do you see it?
It's a little bit blurry, but
Perfect.
yeah, I
Okay.
think you want to keep mixing.
Yes.
Yeah, mix a little longer. Yeah, keep mixing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep mixing.
Increase the speed. Increase the speed.
Increase, yeah, go fast.
Increase. Yeah.
With the tap.
Yeah, go much faster. Make it go on the super high speed. Perfect.
If we want to use, if we're just using the whipping cream and the sugar, should we start whipping the cream?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, start whipping our cream,
Yeah.
add the
Yeah.
sugar. Okay.
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 Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, so if you're using whipped cream, that's the moment for you to whip the cream, if you haven't already done. So because you're gonna add the whipped cream to the mascarpone or to the egg yolks if you're using the egg yolks. Okay, so my yolks are ready. They are fluffy, you can see. And there's a little foam on top, and the sugar is completely dissolved. So these are the 3 signs you have to look at when you're ready, when you want to see if the egg yolks are ready. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to hold that up a little bit higher to the above camera?
Yeah, it's a little heavy, but yeah. Can you see? Okay. So you don't want to see any sugar not dissolved, and it's a light yellow, and that's all.
Okay.
So that's a zabaione.
That's a zabaione. All right.
Zabaione.
Let's do another gallery view, and we'll do a check-in. I think that people are still getting caught up with their zabaione.
Yeah.
Lisa Marie, let's take a look at Lisa Marie. We're going to add you to Spotlight. I'm going to unmute you.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
That's a beautiful zabaione, Lisa Marie. Did you taste it?
No, I haven't, but I will.
Yeah, try.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so this is what the Italian kids had for having a little boost of energy, just a zabaione. I used to make this in a small cup, like a coffee cup, with a spoonful of sugar, mix, and then eat it. But it's heavy, then you have a lot of energy. Okay.
Thank you, Lisa Marie. Question from Jenny and also Angela. Did you add salt to the egg yolks?
No,
Just the sugar.
Salt goes in the egg whites. Just
Okay.
a pinch of salt to keep them cooler and firmer. Okay?
Okay.
But not in the yolks. Yeah.
Okay, let's do another quick gallery peek so we can see how people are doing. Jay, I'm going to bring you up since you're showing us your... There we go. Let's take a look.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, fantastic.
Great.
Taste.
Good job. Jay. Good job, Jay. Thanks for sharing.
Good job. Thanks. Thank you. Okay. So now it's time. Yeah.
I have a question. Mary is saying that her egg yolks are a little runny and sort of pale, not quite like yours. So
mine are pale, and Let's see.
Mary, let's see if we, yeah, there we go. Unmute. Let's take a look. Let's
Yeah,
show.
can you tilt? No, I think they're okay.
Perfect.
No, they're okay. They are a little runnier. Yeah, no problem.
The color of the yolk can be very different. North America has very pale yolks sometimes, or very dark yolks. I think Italians use dark yolks, but not very dark. So anyway, the color doesn't matter. Everything will be fine. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pat,
Grazie.
we have one more person that wants to show, have a little spotlight so that you can make sure that hers is looking good. So let's add Pat up. All right, I'm unmuting
wow.
you. All right, Pat
Beautiful
and friends.
Wait.
Pat,
wait.
oh my God, Pat, oh my God. Oh my
Oh, it's
God.
my fault. Wait.
I hope it's not falling on the computer. My God.
I
Yeah,
think
it was
it was looking like the right texture.
perfect. Yeah, perfect texture.
You're
Sorry. Oh my God.
That's,
Okay.
that's my fault. It's not hers.
Okay.
Were you able to save the egg yolks? The egg
Yes.
yolks.
Yeah, the
Okay,
most
good.
important, yes.
That's the
Okay.
most important thing. All right. Well,
Okay.
they looked great.
My God. Fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, and we've got Ave raising the hand, and Ave, let's go ahead and unmute you again. And what's you want to ask your question?
Okay, did I do it right? It's like
Okay,
a
yeah,
little bit
let's take a look.
fluffy.
Yeah, it looks better. Yeah, because see, it's stacking on the whisker. Yeah, I think your egg whites are ready. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay, Denise.
Yes, I think Ave, you're gonna be having to catch up with the egg yolk part, but we'll go ahead and keep moving along.
Okay, so now it's time to fold the mascarpone into the egg yolks. But before adding it, I want to whip a little bit with the electric whisker for about 30 seconds. Because usually, you know, it's kind of very difficult not avoiding lumps when you add mascarpone into the yolks. So there are two steps that are important. First of all, your mascarpone should be at room temperature. Mine is still a little cold. It was out from the fridge like an hour and a half ago, but still a little cold. So I transfer this in a separate bowl like this. See, because it comes like in one piece. It's like one piece of cheese, you know? So it will be very hard and it takes like a long time to add it to the egg yolks. And so I just want to whip it. Don't whip it, just lose it a little bit with the electric beater. So are you ready?
You're just loosening it a little bit.
Yeah, loosen it a little bit. Are you ready? But not too long. Remember, don't do this for too long, otherwise we say impazzisce in Italian. Means it goes crazy in the sense that the fat and the water part will separate and then it's done, it's gone, okay? So just like this, very low speed, just to loosen a little bit. And then I take this part. See, it's like a big chunk of cheese. And if you add this big chunk, it takes a longer time to fold it in the egg yolks. But we'll do it. Okay. Voila. Okay, so now I have to okay, my mascarpone is going everywhere. All right. Whoops. And whoops. So now this is the longer part. Fold the mascarpone into the egg yolks. Maybe you just watch me for a second before doing that, because we're gonna add a little bit at a time. You take like a spoonful of mascarpone. You see it's pretty dense. And using a butt top motion, we're going to fold in the mascarpone into the egg yolks. So we slide the spoon and we can smash a little bit the mascarpone on one side of the bowl, and then fold it on the top like this, okay?
So you're doing this very slowly, and because you
Yeah.
don't want to lose
I don't
your
want to,
smoothness.
yeah. Okay. So the beginning is always more difficult, but the more we add the mascarpone, it's easier to fold in and get rid of those lumps. Okay, then another bit of mascarpone. And then we slide the spoon on one side, and then we fold it again, like this.
And I did want to
Slide it.
remind people that you will get this replay video so you can watch and cook along with Chicca anytime you would like.
Okay. Then another bit of mascarpone. Voila, voila, voila.
Question from Linda and Keith: can this be done with a slow blender?
Yeah, you can do this with a slow blender. The risk is only that the cream becomes very runny, you know. Then it will firm up in the fridge, but that's the risk. And ciao, Keith and Linda. These are my friends from California, Santa Cruz, California. Long time friends. And I want to say also hi to Pam. I know she's there.
I like to add that if you're using the mixer, make sure you don't create friction and don't heat up the mixture. So yes, low speed and not for very long, because if you keep going, you will break the emulsion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Steve is saying, free to edit out the part where Steve tries to ruin Pat's
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Steve says we're free to edit out the part where he tried to ruin Pat's egg yolks. Pull them up on screen. And then Ave, I'm going to pull you back up on Spotlight here. Okay, we're going to unmute you, Ave.
Yes. I want to have a question. So is this enough?
Oh,
Or I add
yes.
more?
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That looks great.
Perfecto.
Perfect.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. So then, to take the mascarpone cheese.
Yeah. Now you have to whip the mascarpone in a separate bowl for like 30 seconds, not longer, and slowly add the mascarpone to the egg yolks in the motion that I'm showing now. See?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we have another question. If they're using the heavy cream and not the eggs, when and where do we add the remaining 3 tablespoons? So they would
In the whipped cream.
in the whipped
That's
cream.
also, yeah. When you whip the cream, you can add the 3 remaining spoonful of sugar. That's good. So see, the mascarpone, the cream is becoming very silky. And at the end, we can give it just a little run with the electric beater, but just a little run to eliminate all the small lumps. So you'll see it's gonna be perfect.
And yes, they can definitely be using a hand whisk at this point to incorporate the mascarpone.
I rather use a spoon because the spoon has a bigger surface to smash the lumps. So I think the spoon method is better than the whisker, because the whisker just agitates too much, the yolks, the mascarpone, whereas you want to be gentle with this tiramisu, otherwise it will not pick you up, will bring you down. because it's gonna go crazy. The mascarpone can go crazy. Remember? Paolo, you have a story about the mascarpone going crazy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. You want to
absolutely.
tell your story? Yeah.
It's happened, I think, twice in my life. It's very sad when it happens. It can happen.
Yeah.
I think both times my problem was that the mascarpone wasn't super fresh. So I had bought the mascarpone and then I put in a car and drove for 3 hours. And then I got there and started making tiramisu. And that was too much for the poor thing. So what you will see if that happens to you, I hope not, is that suddenly the cream will separate. So you get separation between the fat and the liquid. It still tastes good if you taste it, but it's going to look horrible. It's going to look horrible and it's going to be so runny that you will not get a good dessert out of it. And in my experience, you cannot rescue that. Some people say they can. I was never able to. So it would be best to start over if that happens.
Okay, so I want to show you. See, the cream is, I incorporated all the mascarpone, so the motion is slide down, and if you want, you can smash the little pieces of mascarpone and bring it to the top. Okay.
Okay, well, let's do another peek here and take a look at people. Kate, let's pull up Kate. Kate is one of our existing members. Nice to see you, Kate. Wow, yours is looking super creamy and delicious.
Did you use a spatula? What did you use? Spatula.
I used a spatula at first, and then I just did the whisk once through after I did it all, just to.
Yeah. That's the trick. Spatula or spoon. And like me now, I want to run quickly the beater or the whisk, but I'm using the beater just to make it like smoother. But just look at me like 30 seconds. Not too much.
And this is to answer Carla's question. You could use a quick whisk with the machine. And like she said, just very quick.
Low speed, very low speed. And no lumps. Okay.
I guess, Kika, this step, you could also use hand whisk if you have one.
Yeah.
Just for this final step, right? In case you don't have an electric mixer.
So I just want to show you it's perfect. No lumps. See, very smooth. Can you see?
Looks amazing.
Can you taste it?
Oh yeah. Do you want me to taste? I'll taste it.
I'd like you to taste it. Yes.
So good. So good.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's take another peek at the gallery and see how people are doing. Angela, I'm going to bring you up. Add the spotlight. Here we go, Angela. Oh yeah, that looks
Angela.
good.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Looking good. Ciao. Very good. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for playing along. Let's see. I'm going to pop in here and take another quick peek. Pamela. All right. I'm going to bring you up. Thank you for getting my attention, and look at you with your cute Cooking in Tuscany apron.
Right? I want to know how thick. Is this right?
Yeah. That's just the mascarpone and the egg yolks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfetto. Un bacio. So good to see you.
See, this is what it's all about, having lots of friends in the kitchen. All right, we're going to do another quick view. Let's see, is anybody else wanting to? All right, Jenny, I'm going to bring Jenny up. This is another, where did you go, Jenny? There you are. Okay. Spotlight. There we go. All right.
Ciao, Jenny.
Ciao. I feel like mine's too thick. What should I do about that?
No, don't worry. That's okay. Don't worry. We're gonna add the egg whites and it will be more soft. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
And we have one more. Actually, Andrew. I'm gonna bring Andrew up. Add the spotlight. Here we go, Andrew.
Ciao, Andrew.
Ciao. Is this about all right consistency then?
Oh yeah, it looks smooth. No lumps. Perfect. Good job. Bravo.
Thank you. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. All righty, and let's see. And do one quick more view at the gallery. How are we looking? Carla's clapping hands. I know everybody's doing so good. Kika's a great teacher. Fantastic. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get us back to Kika, and we'll keep moving along.
Yeah. So now we're gonna fold into the mascarpone mixture the egg whites. So let's go back to the fridge and bring the egg whites here. I'm coming back.
And really quick, Jenny, Lisa Marie from OLA says hello.
Ciao.
And then Ave, we're going to bring Ave back up. Ave's got another question. Add to spotlight. Here we go. I'm going to unmute you, Ave. And if you'll put your camera back on.
Yeah, did I do this right?
Yeah, it looks right. It looks smooth. Yeah. Did you add the mascarpone cream?
Yes.
The mascarpone. Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, good job.
Okay. Okay, so now we have a big bowl of egg whites to add, and we're going to use the same bottom to top motion, but without smashing. In this case, we want to keep as much air as possible to have the fluffiest mascarpone cream, okay? So I just do spoonful by spoonful. These are my egg whites, and this is the mascarpone mixture, and I add 1 spoonful, maybe another one. See, it's almost like a meringue, and then I just mix it like that. No smashing. And we're gonna get a lot of cream here.
So again, this is another slow, methodical process.
Yeah.
So don't
always
rush this.
Yeah, from the bottom to the top motion. Don't do like this, like mixing. Just bottom, top. That's the motion. Okay. Voila, one more. So that's much easier than the mascarpone, but you have to be more gentle because mascarpone can create those lumps, especially if it's cold from the fridge. But with the egg whites, you just need to go slowly. But there are no lumps problem here. Okay. Voila. Mixing, mixing. Voila. Like this.
And
Carla
is saying that hers is definitely looking lumpy.
With the egg whites or with the mascarpone?
Carla, with the egg whites or with the mascarpone? Egg whites.
Egg whites. Just mix gently because they will break very quickly, easily. But you want to have some of those lumps because there's air, these are kind of the air you give to the cream. So no problem. There are some tiramisu recipes where they don't use the egg whites. This is another choice, but the cream is much more heavier because now if you taste the cream now, you can tell. And if you have a lot of egg whites because your eggs are bigger, maybe you just use less egg whites. That's another option that you have, but you have to judge. We need to fill the serving dish here with 2 layers of cream. So you can imagine how much cream you need.
So Mary's saying that her egg whites are full of liquid on the bottom. So should we mix them or just discard the liquid that's
No, discard the liquid. Yeah, discard the liquid. No, don't use the liquid of the egg whites. So this is a super fluffy cream.
They've already started to remix them. What should they do now?
Stop mixing. Use the egg whites without mixing. Yeah, otherwise this liquid will sit at the bottom of the tiramisu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah. If it's too liquid, don't add the egg whites. Just don't add them.
Mary, is it okay if I bring you up on video? If you want to give me just a in the chat, let me know if it's okay to bring you up on screen, and we can great. I'll add you to spotlight. All right, let's see. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let me see, Mary.
Okay. So I already started remixing, so they're like slooping out. I don't know if you can see that, but they're fluffing up again. But it was all I started adding the egg white in. I did 2 spoonfuls, and then I'm like, oh, whoa, the bottom is all liquid. So I started remixing. So before I got an answer, I just started remixing, and so I'm partway through that. Now I haven't added any of that remix stuff. Do I need to start all over with egg whites?
But is it fluffy? Is it fluffy? The remaining egg whites, are they?
They're
fluffy?
starting to. They're not sticking in the bottom of the bowl. I can't turn it upside down, but
yeah,
probably can mix longer and get to that point. Maybe.
So if you want to try, and if they don't become stiff again, just don't use them.
But before
okay,
you do that,
I would do that. I would do that. Yeah.
Mary, why don't you pick up a spoon? So let's see what your egg whites look like with a spoon, so we can see what the consistency of them are.
No, they don't look like a liquid. So just discard the liquid at the bottom.
I can't do that now. I've mixed it in.
I think as long as they are still stiff, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
As long as they look sufficiently stiff.
They're not upside down turnable.
But your spoon right now, if you lift up your spoon, they're staying on the spoon.
Okay. All right. Just use them. Okay.
Close enough.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, what's your check in mine? Because also mine, after a while, they slide, because they lose the air and then become softer. So mine is sliding. Look. Poof. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to show you, maybe we have the same stiffness now.
Okay, and I am going to, Carla actually has another question, so I'm going to add Carla up. And then I'm asking you to unmute, so you're going to have to unmute yourself, Carla. There. Yeah. I can't, for some reason, we're not able to hear you.
Maybe the micro is off.
Let me see if I can unmute you up here. Carla. Yeah, it looks like you're unmuted. I'm sorry.
Maybe write in the chat. Yeah, it looks good. If you're looking to know, no, they look good. Yeah.
Oh, she said that looks like ricotta. Her egg whites look like ricotta to her. But you think they look okay, Chicca?
Let me see again. Did you already add them to the, maybe stop adding them. Yeah.
I think did you have it over mixed earlier? I believe, yes. So this might be the reason. Yeah, they're staying together a bit too much. But I think if you mix them, maybe use a whisk, you'll be able to get the air to, become smaller bubbles. Yes. Yeah, maybe it'll break up a bit because they're sticking together. Very interesting. Yes.
Yes. Great. All right. Good luck, Carla. Okay, and we've got Ave again. And unmute, Ave, you can ask your question.
Yes. So my the eggs are yellow and they're soft.
The did you add the egg whites already, or?
Yes, the egg whites. As you can see.
Yeah, it's very soft. So maybe your egg whites were not stiff thick, because my cream is not soft.
And you
so
have
my cream, yeah, it's falling from the spoon, but very slowly. It's not like liquid.
I think you might have experienced that separation that we were talking about, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Can you do that again? Can you lift the spoon and show us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this looks the kind of lumpy liquid that happens when it separates.
Yeah. What did you use to mix the mascarpone? Did you use a mixer or a spoon?
A spoon.
Just a spoon?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe something was wrong with the egg whites or the mascarpone. So taste the cream. If it's still okay, you can use it. You don't have to throw it. And it will firm up after being in the fridge, the day after. Yeah, if this happened, that's normal. You can try, okay?
Does this now have the egg whites, the egg yolks, and the mascarpone cream?
It tastes fine. It tastes sweet.
Okay. So if it tastes fine, you can use it. And tomorrow, keep it in the fridge at least 6 hours and then try it. And usually firms up a little more in the fridge. That's why we want to refrigerate it, because everything sits. And also the mascarpone that we have been working with for so long, gets warm and start getting softer. In the fridge, it will become again like harder. Okay, so maybe it will fix it. It will fix. So you have to tell us tomorrow how is your tiramisu, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, let's just do another quick peek at the gallery before we move on to the next step. Take a look at how people are looking, other than just a beautiful, wonderful group of folks. Rainy, I'm going to pull Rainy up.
Ciao. Ciao, Rainy.
Oh,
beautiful. Looks beautiful.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. Did you add everything? Mascarpone, egg whites? Okay, perfect. Fantastico.
All right, and I'm just going to do one more gallery. Let's see, how's everybody else looking? Oh, it's looking great. Yeah, I see. Oh, yeah. We've got thumbs up over here. I'm liking all the thumbs up. Well,
okay.
Well done. All right. Let's get us back here. All right, Chicca, let's go ahead and move on.
Yeah, so now let's assemble this tiramisu. So next step is also easy, but it takes also some of our attention. We have to moisten the lady fingers, and to do that, we need to understand the psychology. Okay, I'll take one lady finger, and I want to show you there is one side that is covered with sugar, which is harder, and the other side is softer. When we soak them in coffee, the side without the sugar will absorb much liquid than the side without the harder side with the sugar. I found my method that I count 1, 2, 3. You have to count in Italian. 1, 2, 3. One side first, and then soak 1, 2, 3 the other side. But I want to show you the difference. Just look at me. Because if I over soak the lady fingers like this, it will break. These are pretty good, but if you soak them for a long time, they will break very easily. Okay, so but you want to soak them so the inside is you don't want to have all the coffee dripping, and the inside is wet. Okay, so this is broken. But if you try with one lady fingers before arranging them in your serving dish, and understand how long they should soak without breaking, and being soaked enough to absorb some coffee. Because the tiramisu is nice when the lady fingers are all soaked in coffee. But if you over soak them, then the liquid, the extra coffee, will sit down at the bottom of your tiramisu. That's not a perfect result. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I make sure I drip the extra liquid off. And then I say, put this in here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's do in Italian.
Does it matter which side up in the pan?
No, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can feel that they soak a lot of liquid, especially the part without the sugar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Count. And if you feel that some parts are still hard, just give it a little soak. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So my lady fingers have the upper part that it's pretty hard. So they need an extra, a little bit more coffee on top than bottom. So check with your lady fingers, okay? But don't over soak them. Over soaking them is a mistake. And my coffee has no sugar. And if you like liquor, you can have liquor in your coffee, okay? But I don't like very much alcohol in desserts, so I prefer not having alcohol in the coffee. But you can find all this information also written in the recipe. So if you have any questions, yeah. Okay, so this is the first layer. Maybe add another one in the bottom.
Well, and your lady fingers are a lot bigger than my lady fingers. I'm going to add myself so you can see the size of my lady fingers are almost half the size of yours. And when I tested mine, I couldn't count to 3. I could only count to 2 before they got soggy. So like she said, you need to really test yours to make sure that they don't get too soggy or that you're not soaking them long enough.
Okay, so you arrange the pan with all the lady fingers. And then we spread half of the cream on top of this first layer.
And Chicca, do you have a dish that you could show an example of what an individual serving would look like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually I use glasses. Here, I like to make like in a small wine glasses. I can use the lady finger that I broken. So I put like one or 2 lady fingers. I can do one. Then I put some mascarpone on top. This is an individual portion. And then sprinkle cocoa powder. And it looks very cute. See, you can see all the, okay, all the sides. It's a nice presentation. And then more cream. All right. And then I spread it very well. Okay, and then we continue with the second layer of lady fingers. We're gonna do just 2 layers. Now you understand why you wanna have the size of a pan of this size, because if I have a bigger size of the pan, it will be a very shallow layer of cream. So 1, 2, 3. And in this case, we're gonna arrange the lady fingers in the opposite way so we create a structure, okay? 1, 2, 3. Ok. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Are you counting, guys? I can't hear you, so I don't know. I'm not sure.
They're giving us thumbs up, Chicca.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Make sure that the harder side of your lady fingers, the one with the sugar, is well soaked. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You have to say tre, no tre. Okay. Tre.
DGB, I don't know what DGB stand for, but they'll be counting like that in their sleep tonight. That's how they'll be counting sheep. Tre.
Yeah. Now you're gonna sleep. Yeah, exactly. 1, 2, 3.
And Susan says cocoa powder between the layers. Did you put cocoa powder between the layers?
No, I'm going traditional, Susan. I'm going traditional.
But you could put cocoa powder between the layers if you weren't being traditional.
No.
See, Susan, this is what I get from Chicca all the time as the American. She always tells me no when I ask questions. Like, can I roast the vegetables? No.
No. Sorry. No. No.
Paolo's answer also, Chicca, was traditionally no.
Yeah, not very diplomatic. Okay, so now the last layer of cream, and the tiramisu is ready to go to the fridge. So we made different tiramisu in the past 4 years with the cooking club. There is a very good one that went viral. It was a strawberry tiramisu, and there were no eggs. There was mascarpone yogurt, and I made a liquid to soak the lady fingers, made with orange juice and lemon juice and strawberry puree. So it's delicious. It's not in the season now. Strawberries are not season now. So, but it's in the recipe library. It's very, very good.
And Carla's asking, apologies, do the lady fingers go in the same direction in both layers? And
no.
Please explain again why you go opposite layers.
To have a structure, to have more structure. So when you cut it, it stays more together. Now, does it make sense, Carla? Yes. Okay, so now I found this tool from maybe 1800s. I don't know. It was laying down in the kitchen, and I wanna just layer well the cream on the top, and then we are ready to spread the cocoa powder. Voila. Okay. Voila. And so we're gonna spread cocoa powder now, and cocoa powder before serving. So why we does twice the cocoa powder? The first layer is absorbed by the cream and form a rich and firm bitter coating. Then the second layer is fresher because it's powder and is the first flavor you taste in your mouth. So this gives an incredible contrast to the creamy mascarpone. And these two layers create a perfect harmony of flavors from the very first bite. I hope I've convinced you to do the 2 layers. Okay, So I need my sifter. And voila, a little spoon. So in general, to make tiramisu, it takes like 30 minutes. So we are talking a lot. So that's why it's a longer recipe, but don't be scared. So just do this first layer of cocoa powder, and I'll show you how it comes out from the fridge. Because I made a magic tiramisu. So the problem now is that we're gonna have 2 tiramisu. The one I made yesterday, that's a bit, exactly. Yeah, very big problem actually. Yeah. We are inviting friends. Yeah, if you wanna come tomorrow, we have 2 tiramisu, anyone, you're all invited. So you can sprinkle quite a lot because it will be this cocoa powder will be absorbed by the cream. It will be not too much. And it makes like a crust. Can you imagine like a crust of cocoa? Super bitter.
And Nathan, our friend from Terra Cucina, says no problem that he sees having 2 tiramisus.
Yeah, the problem is that Arnaud is going to eat all the 2 tiramisu, so I'm not a big sweet dessert person, and I'm worried for him. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so tiramisu is ready to go. Now we should cover it with plastic film, and we don't want to, having the film just in touch with the surface. So I have a little trick that I want to show you. I put some toothpick here and there. So we create like a tent with the plastic film. So it doesn't touch the surface of the tiramisu. Or if you have a better idea, let me know. Like this. Voila. Okay. Tiramisu is ready to go to bed.
All right. And so we are going to do a little talk about what's coming up for next season, but we are going to do a group screenshot showing everyone's tiramisu at the end of that. So while everybody is getting finished up and getting caught up, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of talking about next season of the cooking club. So I'm going to share a few slides here again. So we really hope that you had fun with Chicca today. And now we want to show you a little bit of why we'd like to invite you to be part of our cooking community and Chicca's cooking club. And so Chicca's going to tell you a little bit about her philosophy.
Yeah. So in this picture, you can see Pam. She was on the screen before. She was in Tuscany last 2 years ago, and we had an incredible time. So the reason why I love cooking and why I like to join me around my virtual table is this. I believe that cooking should be something simple and mindful and joyful. And in the slide, you can read my philosophy. And for next season, I'm very excited to share 6 healthy recipes from my family and Italian traditions and make Italian cuisine a little easier for you. During this next season classes, we'll use vegetable in season now in winter. So it's going to be all seasonal vegetables. These classes are interactive, just like today. You can ask questions in real time, and we always help you to have the best result. And all these recipes are vegetarian, plant-based, and adaptable also for vegan and gluten-free. Yeah, so the first class feature a radicchio salad with caramelized pears and roasted butternut squash. It's not in the picture. And we're going to make a very delicious vinaigrette with mandarin, garlic, and balsamic. And the second class is a potato and butternut squash crumble. It's layers of roasted butternut squash, potatoes, cheese. If you want, you can add prosciutto, and top everything with the garlic crumble made with bread. It's very, very nice. Then we're gonna have this crespelle. It's crepes stuffed with butternut, with ricotta and spinach, and topped with gorgonzola sauce and baked into the oven until the top get crispy and golden. Then we're gonna make some sweet happiness for your home kitchen. This dessert is typical from my hometown, Napoli, and it's called Migliaccio. It's a citrus-infused semolina pudding cake, very soft, very simple, and healthy, not much butter or sugar. Then we have our traditional handmade pasta class. You're gonna master how to make pasta from scratch. We're gonna start making the dough together. We're gonna cut the tagliolini, and we top the tagliolini, we season the tagliolini with the lemony sauce and some pistachios on top for some crunch. It's gonna be very fun. And to finish, our sixth class will feature more vegetables in season. It's a soup typical from Livorno. It's the region where we live, and it's called Bordatino, and has inside a Tuscan kale, polenta, bean soup, and the liquid where we cook all these ingredients is the liquid of the beans. So, yeah, I'm hungry.
So yes, as Chicca said, the season's full of winter and season and spring flavors, including a handmade pasta dish and a dessert. We have so much fun during each class and our cooking family and community. And our first official class is on January 4th, and we'll go through March 22nd. But we have a special holiday gathering on December 14th for members only, where Chicca will share her special hot chocolate recipe. It's so yummy. And as part of our club, you'll get to join a vibrant online Facebook community of happy cooks from all over the world. And for each recipe, there's a wine pairing suggested by our friend and member and professional sommelier, Linda from My Somm Friend, and members get access to discounts on specialty foods and cookware. And but the cool thing about the club is that if you're busy on any of those given Saturdays, no worries. The replay video will be ready for you within 24 hours of the class. So you can cook along Chicca whenever you do have the time. We like to say it's like Netflix, but tastier. In fact, we have over 90 classes that you can go back through on demand. So you can make other pastas, meatballs, risotto, ravioli, and we have 4 variations of tiramisu. So you'll have the shopping list, the recipe, and the class replay at the ready. So you can make anything you want pretty much anytime.
Yeah, and the club membership is so much more than just a bundle of classes. It's like you're traveling to Tuscany each month. It's also being part of a supportive global community and gaining the confidence of cooking amazing new recipe with Chicca, but in your kitchen. Some members call our classes their date night. We also see more people hosting cooking parties during the classes, or when somebody needs inspiration for a party, they use the recipe they've learned from Chicca. It's been really fun to see family and friends cooking together in their kitchens.
And the cost of becoming a member is $149 for the season. And that's 4 months with 6 online classes brought to you from Tuscany. And registration for this new season is open right now. And we only open up registration for a short time. So if you've missed becoming a member by December 31st, you can sign up for individual classes by purchasing them a la carte. And we want to let you know that registration won't open again until April. And if you have any questions about membership, let us know in the chat and we'll try to get to those in a moment. But Paolo.
But we also have a special bonus for you. If you sign up for the club membership today, you will also get a digital copy of Chicca's cookbook, which has 30 vegetarian recipes from starter to dessert.
And if you sign up for the membership, you can go to our website, which the URL's on the screen, and Paula's going to drop that in the chat for you now. And if you have any questions or issues, you can certainly email us at club@cookingin-tuscany.cc, and we'll check that chat. But we are going to do that photo, so get ready with your tiramisu with the screen. Get ready to bring that up to the screen. And then, but before we do that, Chicca, do you have any last messages for our people before we about the club?
Yeah. So it's not just the joy of cooking together, gathering together. It's more about the connection. We always exchange emails and messages with our communities, and we also have a private Facebook group where you can share your pictures and interact with our joyful community. Some of our members became friends in real life, and over the years I made so many friends too. Some of them came to visit in person, and you're welcome to visit me too in Tuscany. We are in Tuscany, so it's a nice place to go. Paolo, were there any questions about the club?
Not yet. Does anybody have a question?
But I have my magic tiramisu, the one I just brought from the fridge.
So yeah, so we did cover some things in that we covered. There's some FAQs on the website. We do have a question what the cost is. Is the cost in US or Canadian dollars? It is in US. So you can go to the website and check out that there. And we did drop the URL in the chat as well. And then we will, in the replay video email that we send out, there'll be a link there where you can have access to that, and also a link to where you can download that digital copy of the cookbook. But before anything else, I'm going to go ahead and pop us over into gallery view so that we can get our group shot. So please, if you've got your tiramisu, please go ahead and bring that up to your screen, and let's get those big toothy grins, and 1, 2, 3, smile, everybody. All right, and let's do it again. I've got a couple of screens to get through. So 1, 2, 3, smile. Let's do it again one more time. 1, 2, 3, smile, everybody. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for participating with us today. What a fun class. And yeah, so we've had so much fun with you today. And before we have anything else, Chicca, do you have any final thoughts about today's class or the cooking club or anything else?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for participating. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope your tiramisu will taste good tomorrow. Let me know, or later. And yeah, if you want, I can slice the tiramisu I made yesterday, so we can see how so see, this is the first coating of cocoa. It's pretty solid. It's not powder anymore. And I'm dusting more cocoa powder, fresh cocoa powder. You can see the difference in color. And I want to slice a piece of tiramisu and toast to this class. And I hope to cook with you again. Okay, let's see how it looks like when it's cut it. I'm going to get like this and this. A little spatula, plate, and enough.
And Carla, the amount of cocoa powder for the second coating, Carla wants to know about how much you put on for the next.
Yeah, and it's completely covered with cocoa powder. Not too much, otherwise you have too much cocoa powder in your mouth. So, can you see? I don't know if you can see. I can put it so the first slice never come out perfectly. So I'll do the second slice.
Take the second slice out.
Yeah, I'll take the second slice out because it's always okay. Can you see?
Oh yeah, that looks great.
Yeah. Can you see? I don't know if I can tilt
No.
it so you can see.
I don't know if that's gonna.
No, maybe
No.
there.
Yeah, hold it. There you go.
I don't know. Maybe Arno can, you can, yeah, put it closer to the camera. Yeah. So you can see there is a thick layer of cream. The lady fingers are dark because they're soaked in the coffee, but they are still firm. Okay.
Okay. And one last question. If you're freezing, Nancy, hi Nancy, wants to know if you're freezing, do you freeze it today or tomorrow?
No, you can freeze it right now. You can freeze
Okay.
it now. Yeah.
Okay, so before I'm going to go ahead and pop us back over to gallery view. And before we say goodbye, I'm going to go ahead and unmute everyone. And so we can all say goodbye to Chicca. And we're going to ask everybody to unmute. Say goodbye.
Bye, tutti.
Arrivederci, Chicca. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.